And we're back here, and we're feeling like 94 degrees here in Tallahassee. Pretty comfortable conditions for the end of July. And so the satellite's not showing too much going on there. Clear skies for most of the area, and that's because we have this high pressure that's sitting over the Gulf. So we're getting that dry air coming in from the north, and we're not getting that push that we usually see that pushes all that humidity into the air. So very dry conditions out there. The next 3 days or so is going to be very dry air coming in, 94 degrees, 95 and 95, and not a lot of rain for the next few days to speak of. And later in the show, we're going to start talking about the tropics and seeing what's going on out there, and we're going to talk about this dry weather pattern.
Yeah, thanks, Zach. So it's not only dry here, but in portions of the southeast, we do have some really dry conditions, especially the eastern sections. So you can notice 93 in Montgomery, 87 in Atlanta, 85 in Charleston, but it actually feels much nicer for July standards. Low dew points across that area. Now, as you head further west, we have a cold front situated in the region, so that's bringing in more moisture, but some cooler conditions because we have more rain coverage, and then behind it, it's hot and drier behind that front. So at 98 in Oklahoma City, as you saw. Now the dew points, as I said earlier, we have lower dew points across the eastern sections of the southeast because of high pressure, and we have that northeasterly wind still bringing that dry air from the north. 59 in Montgomery, 65 in Tallahassee, and 64 in Atlanta feels really awesome for the end of July standards. Now out towards the Mississippi River Valley, moisture coming up from the Gulf ahead of that cold front gives you those higher dew points. So it's 74 in Shreveport and 75 in Little Rock, and then a little bit dry air behind it with 67 in Oklahoma City and 68 in Dallas. Now the heat indices are not that bad in the eastern section of the southeast, and they're pretty close to your air temperature. Really nice in Atlanta and really nice in Tallahassee as well, with 94 in Tallahassee. And a little bit hotter out towards Oklahoma City and Dallas, a little higher than your air temperature, 102 in Oklahoma City and 98 in Dallas. Now the reason why we have drier air over the eastern sections of the southeast is with that northerly wind you see in Tallahassee and that easterly wind in Jacksonville. A little bit southerly in Atlanta and Montgomery, so that will bring the humidity back as we go into tomorrow and Wednesday. And you also notice southerly winds ahead of that cold front in Jackson and New Orleans at 12 miles per hour in New Orleans. So we have high pressure in the south, in the eastern section, that cold front in the middle section of the southeast. So you notice we do have some thunderstorm activity ahead of it. Might have a stray severe storm in the evening hours, but again, it's normal, typical summertime thunderstorms ahead of this cold front. And then we had some thunderstorm activity just due to the daytime heating in the Atlanta metro area in the North Georgia mountains. So the next 48 hours shows you that cold front really slowing down and stalling out in the Tennessee River Valley. And for tomorrow, you notice the cooler conditions across the Mississippi River Valley because of that cold front, but another nice day for a lot of South Georgia and North Florida, and then very hot out towards the southern plains. Now let's send it off to Zach for our drier local forecast.
Thanks, Michael. And as we saw with most of the southeast, we're going to be seeing some dry conditions over the next few days. So no surprise that we haven't seen any rain departure from normal. We usually would see about a quarter inch, but today very dry out there. No clouds in sight for most of the day, and our radar is showing that just no clouds, just very clear skies. A nice day overall today. And currently 92 degrees, and we're only feeling like 94 because we don't have that humidity in the air, so very comfortable to wrap out our July month. Currently, we're sitting at 92 here in Tallahassee, a little bit cooler down on the coast. Apalachicola and Carabel both at 88 degrees. Blakely's also at 88 degrees, so a lot of our region is in lower 90s and some even not even in the 90s yet. And we do have our dew points a lot lower than normal. We usually see 75, 76 here in Tallahassee. So we're seeing 65, and look at Blakely, 55 dew points. So no humidity almost. It feels very, very comfortable for a summer day, and as a result, our temperature feels like is about what the temperature of the air actually is. And here's our wind. So most of that flow, for the most part, is pushing from the northeast towards the southwest because of that high pressure system that's sitting in the Gulf. Not too large flow. Valdosta seeing 5 mile per hour, Apalachicola seeing 8 mile per hour, so fairly calm conditions out there. And current heat index value, because we have that dry air that's pushing from the northeast, we're feeling like 94 here in Tallahassee, which isn't bad because typically around this 6 o'clock hour, we're still in the feels like around 100. Sometimes even over that, like 105. So very comfortable conditions. And look at Blakely. They're feeling almost about exactly what the air temperature is, 86 degrees there, and they're feeling in the 80s down towards the coast as well. And the big picture is showing this high pressure system that's sitting over the Gulf. We also do have high pressure system dominating the southeast. We have this cold front, and that's going to sort of stall out over the Nashville area over the next few days. So we can't really expect any impacts here in Tallahassee from that. And the next 24 hours, clear skies for the rest of the night. And waking up tomorrow, we can expect some clear skies as well. Not a cloud in sight there. And as we continue, we might see a little bit of clouds start to pick up into tomorrow evening and maybe a small splash, but not really anything to be anticipated, especially nothing severe to be thinking about. And tonight we're going to get down to 70 degrees, and it's going to be mainly clear. Maybe a cloud or two might slip in, but not too much. I would expect most of the region to stay clear, not too cloudy there. And looking into tomorrow, a high of 94 here in Tallahassee. And if you want to go golfing, today or tomorrow is a good day to do that there. 72 degrees waking up, so try to go out early. Not a lot of humidity, should feel comfortable. And let's look at the next 7 days here. We're going to start to see the rain chances pick up over the weekend, but for the most part, we're going to end the week fairly dry. I'm going to now pass things off to Michael.
Yeah, those are looking like really good conditions, and most of the national is looking pretty good, as you can see with the current conditions. Not bad across a lot of our area, a lot of the nation, with 87 again in Atlanta, 77 in Chicago, and 76 in Minneapolis. They're behind that cold front, so it feels a little nicer outside and a little refreshing in terms of your dew points you'll see in a few seconds. But then down towards the south plains, 94 in Dallas and 96 in San Antonio, so it's a little hot out there. Now you can clearly see the cold front with those higher dew points ahead of that cold front in the central part of the U.S. and the middle Mississippi River Valley, with dew points in the 70s all over there. And then behind that cold front, dew points in the low 60s and upper 50s, 56 in Minneapolis and 60 in Kansas City. And then down towards the southeast, where high pressure is still located, dew points well below average for this time of year, 64 in Atlanta and 65 in Tallahassee. You can see the cold front with the showers and thunderstorms ahead of it in Indiana and Kentucky and Tennessee and Arkansas and Louisiana. High pressure is still dominating the eastern coastline and the Gulf regions. And then we also have some showers with the stalled out boundary in the Intermountain West, and also the monsoon starting in the southwest. So that will be beginning to increase as we go into the next few days in the southwest. Now in the middle Mississippi River Valley, you do have a marginal risk for a severe thunderstorm, but very low chance, but still a chance of a stray severe thunderstorm. Right now, just some thunderstorms along the line ahead of that cold front moving through Memphis as we speak. And that will bring in some dry air as we go into tomorrow as that cold front moves through. And then the northern fringes of that you can see moving through the lower peninsula of Michigan and through Indianapolis and going into Ohio over the next few hours. Out towards the Intermountain West, we do have a small chance of a severe thunderstorm, again a marginal risk. So a very slight chance of having a severe thunderstorm or two. And we do have some severe thunderstorm warnings out towards the Intermountain West down towards Denver, and in Fort Collins, just south of Denver along that I-40 corridor, and then two more near the Nebraska, Kansas, and Colorado border. Now for the next 24 hours, notice how this cold front starts to lose its intensity and really slow down. It becomes more scattered in nature, and it really stalls out, as we've been saying, over the Tennessee River Valley and the Mississippi River Valley. It doesn't move that much. Now high pressure starts to move off towards the east and break down, so that will give those scattered showers and thunderstorms for the I-95 corridor as we go into Wednesday, and for the interior sections of the Northeast for tomorrow. So do expect that. You notice the cooler conditions up towards Minneapolis for tonight at 57 degrees. Pretty comfortable conditions across the eastern two-thirds of the country. And then for tomorrow, pretty unsettled conditions in the Mississippi River Valley with that cold front moving through. Another hot day once again in the 95 corridor and down towards the southeast. Now let's send it off to Zach to check out the tropics. Tropics.
Yeah, we're getting to that time of year where we start to see a little bit of activity out in the Atlantic. So we're going to take a second to talk about this Invest 95L that's down here. And we had our most recent update at 5 o'clock, and we're expecting not much development there. 0% chance over 2 days, 10% over 5 days. So we're looking at mainly a lot of rain over the Miami area over the next few days. Nothing really tropical there. And that's because of this wind shear. The bright colors, yellow, red, that's a lot of shear, and that is not good for hurricanes. And as we can see, we just sort of play it out, and as the storm sort of moves, the wind shear is going to move with it, so it's not really expected to grow much there. So we do have an active Pacific, though not much going on in the Atlantic. We have Tropical Storm Eric over here looking like it could have slight impacts to Hawaii, and right now it's a tropical storm seeing 70-mile-per-hour winds. That's expected to be a Category 1 soon. To be a Category 1, we expect 74-mile-per-hour winds there. So we see these spaghetti models, and they're looking like it's going to be a little bit south of Hawaii, so maybe not too much impacts, maybe a little bit of waves or some swells, but nothing affecting the main islands there. But we do have another storm in the vicinity. We have Tropical Storm Florence, or Flossie, and that tropical storm may have some more impacts, and that actually may become a major hurricane later in the week. And as we can see, 75-mile-per-hour winds looking into Tuesday around 12, and then it's going to become a Category 2, and maybe even push Category 3. We're going to see some upper-level winds, 110 mile per hour, and that looks like it is starting to head towards the islands, so something to be aware of and keep track of over the next few days. Now I'm going to pass things off to Michael for a look at our last local forecast.
Yeah, thanks, Zach. No tropical troubles here, but it feels much drier compared to what we should be for this time of year. A very dry, hot day in Tallahassee once again. Mostly sunny skies, but it doesn't feel as hot as it usually be because the dew points, again, are lower than they should be for this time of year. So you can see mostly sunny skies over Doak Campbell Stadium with our FSU weather stem cam, and currently 92 degrees, but with that dew point of 65, it doesn't feel much hotter than it actually is. It only feels like 94, which for this time of year is as good as you can possibly get. Now the satellite and radar shows you mostly clear skies across our region in the Big Bend and South Georgia, and it's all because of high pressure situated in the southeast and in the northern Gulf. Now the temperatures are in the upper 80s to around 90 degrees in the Georgia counties and in the lower 90s as you go down towards the Florida counties. 92 again in Tallahassee, 90 in Camilla, 88 in Blakely, and 90 in Wilma. Now these dew points for this time of year are amazing. These are refreshing dew points for the end of July. 65 in Tallahassee. We even have a lot of 50-degree dew points in the northern sections of our viewing area. 59 in Moultrie, 59 in Camilla, and look at that in Blakely, 55. That is pretty awesome for the end of July. And with the heat indices, you saw 88 in Blakely as your air temperature. With the dew point of 55, it feels cooler than it actually is because the air is dry. 86 in Blakely, and 89 in Camilla, and 89 in Moultrie. And then again, the heat indices are pretty close to your air temperatures across the Florida counties, only in the low 90s, which is really good for this time of year. Now the reason why we have those lower dew points, winds are still coming in from the northeast. This is the wind direction we've been having ever since that frontal boundary moved south of us last week. And that wind direction is slowly going to change as we head into the middle part of the work week, become more southerly. So one, that will increase the moisture, and two, return our rain chances to those typical summertime values as we head towards the end of the week. It's all because that cold front will slowly move towards the east and stall in the Tennessee River Valley, and high pressure is going to break down as we go into the end part of the work week. And in addition, you saw that tropical wave will bring in some moisture from the south as well. So a combination of all those three things will allow us to return to our typical summertime thunderstorms as we head towards the weekend and into next week. So, but for the next 24 hours, a pretty similar time as we've had for the last few days. No thunderstorm activity overnight. Mostly sunny skies to start of your Tuesday morning, and that dry air and those lower dew points will still be with us for one more day, and that will not really give us any rain chances. You try to see the sea breeze try to make its way inland, but with that northeasterly wind and a lack of moisture in the lower levels, can't get any of those showers and thunderstorms. Might get a 10% chance in our region, but again, with the lack of moisture, can't get any of those showers and thunderstorms. So for tonight, with that drier air, we might get into the 60s once again, 69 here in Tallahassee. And we'll take a look at that 7-day forecast where the rain chances do gradually return as we go into the weekend, as that moisture does return from the Gulf. And so the temperatures return to their typical summertime values for this time of year, 92 degrees. Finally, don't forget to follow us on all of our social media outlets, and we hope to see you here once again tomorrow at 6 p.m.